What is up, everyone? Welcome to Family Hot Dish. Today, I wanted to talk about my mom. So that's the topic. She passed away a couple weeks ago, and I just want to talk about my mom and talk about how it's going, what it feels like. Pretty much that's it. This video is going to be about that. And if anyone else has lost their mom, if you can get anything from this or even just relate, I hope it helps you. But anyways, let's get right into it. This is my mom, Alana Kunzer. It's still not real. It's still, my baby's gonna be with me. I have 5 kids, and my mom would love my baby screaming in the video. But yeah, it is real, and I've came to terms. Acceptance has answered all my problems is big in my recovery, and so I've accepted it. It's more just it's still just not real. I guess it's hard to explain, but if you've been through it or if you're going through it, it's hard to explain. But yeah, let's get into sort of how everything happened and what it was like. So it happened about a year ago, whatever. My mom had a level 5 aneurysm. Before that, she had a little spill that happened at a restaurant, and she went to the hospital, all that, went and visited her, and then she was fine after that, right? So I'll get into more of the details here too, of how everything went or everything happened. I had to put the kiddo with the 18-year-old, so I just wanted to explain it, maybe even getting this out there. I hope that it can help somebody going through this. I have experienced a lot of death in my life, but it was more in the recovery field and recovery aspect, which is obviously still very heartbreaking. And just, my mom was different. My first tattoo is my mom's signature on my arm. That's how close I was to my mom. So, like I said, level 5 aneurysm. She was in a coma. I was doing dumpsters back then with my CDL, front loading dumpsters, and they weren't trying to let me even go. So it took 4 days to where I could go, and then they still were like, there's more dumpsters. That's why I ended up leaving there. I'm not going to get into that type of stuff, but that's not a good place to work for. But anyway, so on top of that, I'm doing that, and that's a stressful job. But so when I went to saw my mom, I lost it. When she was in the coma, and they had the breathing thing on her, and it was, that was the only time I really, really lost it. After she passed, I haven't even cried still, and it's been 3-4 weeks or whatever, and I just, it's more just, I'm happy that she's not suffering anymore. And now I'm going to get into a little bit more of our background of our life and stuff, and her life, and, because the reason I'm making this is mainly because that's what I always am trying to do, is help people, but also, for there to be this out there, like they say, you don't die until the last time someone mentions your name. So this will be on YouTube for eternity is sort of how I look at it. And my mom, Alana Kunzer, was such an amazing person that at her funeral, they had to get more and more chairs, and it got to the point where they couldn't even fit everybody in there. It was insane. So yeah, during that time, I'm not going to get into too much negative type details, but yeah, during that time, it was very stressful for the whole family, and very stressful. And with stress comes problems, and with stress comes family drama. It was mainly from this one side of the family, and it was pretty disgusting how they acted. I'm not going to get too much into that because this is supposed to be about my mom and the situation. And, if you're going through this, that's why I keep saying acceptance is the answer to all your problems. If you accept life on life's terms, you can get through things. Trust me, though, you get that gut-wrenching feeling, that stomach drop, but you can get through anything if you accept life on life's terms. And if your perception of reality, if you can shift it, that's why I go by perception is stronger than reality. That's what my merch even says on my other YouTube channel, Seth Leroy Adventures. But I'm telling you, this was not. My wife always said that is the most worried I will be is when your mom passes for you, because she knows how close I am to my mom. My other siblings, it's been really rough on them too, and it's just like I said, I won't get into too much ins and outs of family, but it's devastated a lot of people, and it messed some things up. And I mean, which makes sense. My mom was amazing. And now I'll get a little bit into the background of her life, our life, from her youngest perception. My mom had it rough with 2 husbands. Her first husband, I won't get into detail. He did something very bad to his kids, and he went away for a long time. So that was my mom's first thing. She left him, obviously. She got with my dad. They were married. Their first kid together passed away, my sister, Cherish. Then she had me and my other brother, Sam. She had 6 kids total. So after she left my dad, she moved to a small town in Minnesota, right? I had to get the baby. He was going to drive the 18-year-old crazy, so. But before that, just to tell a little background, she grew up on a farm. And then she moved to Bloomington, Minnesota, which was a big switch in reality. But then she also, I don't know all the crazy details, but she left with her friend, and they traveled California in the 70s. So my mom had a lot more worldly experience than a lot of her other family members, which those are a lot of the people that aren't, nope. They're very judgmental people, and they just don't get life, really. There's some of those, and they did disgusting things during all this, and that's why I'm saying I'm not trying to make this video at all about that, but all you can do is pray for those people and just hope the best for them. But I understand when you don't have a lot of life experience, that's what happens. But also they were close to my mom towards the last couple of years, which was good, but they used to abandon her, leave her, say, not invite her to Christmas, until my grandma on her deathbed said, you involve your oldest sister. Which, the only reason they did that, which I never understood, so then they hung out with her all the time, which was great. That was great for my mom, but also it's a little sad. It took your mom telling you on her deathbed to hang out with her. And the reason, not that they didn't like my mom is awesome, so much fun. It was because of her children, or because we were all really bad. I'm coming up on 10 years sober in March. I won't get into the ins and outs of my siblings because that's not what this is about, but all of us have ups and downs. We all do. Yeah. So that's a little background. She went to California, did her thing, and then she was back here, got that first husband. Things went south, got with my dad. Things went south after a couple years too. She left him. She's a strong woman. She moved, and then she ended up getting her own house, working 2 jobs at Kmart and Super America. And she worked 2 jobs for a long time. Then she went down to 1 job for a long time. Yeah, let me tell you, my mom was a grinder, hustler, always running around, cleaning, cooking, working. She did not give up with 6 kids. Did her thing. And the reason my brother, me, all of us are so close to our mom is because our mom was our rock. People say that my mom's the strongest. No, our mom literally. The stuff too we all put her through was insane. She's a big testament to why I'm sober coming up on 10 years. She never gave up on me. And by never giving up on me, she didn't enable me. She kicked me out, called the police. She helped me find my rock bottom. Another reason I'm doing this video too, I did not get to speak at my mom's funeral. My other brother did, and my uncle, and I was supposed to, but I don't know what happened. And that's what I mean by there's disgusting things. That side of the family also didn't let my brother's song play that he picked. They did play one we picked, but anyways, and I'm not trying to make this video about that, but I had to get this out. I had to do this video, and it's sort of like roughly what I would have said, roughly, at her funeral. So, long story short, yeah, I didn't even get to speak, and then I almost said something, and I'm sure if I would have been like, hey, I'm getting up there, but it wasn't about me that day. And in the end, I was sitting there in the moment just saying, you know what, I don't need to say, this in front of people. Also, I have a couple platforms where I didn't think of this at the time, but that's why I was like, you know what, I'm going to put this out there about Alana Kunzer from Minnesota, great woman. And just so then I can get out what roughly things that I wanted to say that day. And it's going to help me with that. Because we did a lot of healing by going in my mom's crawl space, and we found just beautiful things, and we actually bought a vitrine and we set it up all beautiful, and that's where the urn goes and everything too. I just got another a bracelet that is also like an urn. The 18-year-old I got him a cross necklace that is the same thing with ashes. Yeah, so there's this, I'm just pointing out certain ways that we have mourned, or just things that have helped. Because it really helped me when we were going through her crawl space and looking at stuff, and we set that beautiful thing up for her. At the end, I should show you. Yeah, so that is some more background just of what it was like. So that's why when you fast forward to when all this stuff happened, it rocked all of our worlds, everyone's world. Just crazy. So to talk about my mom more, she was one of the only people. Of course, she would get angry. She had resentment sometimes, but for the most part, she was very open to being cool with people. Not really, what I'm saying, so to speak, for lack of a better term, beefing with people. She was very big on just keeping the peace and loving people and not judging, but trust me, she could get judgmental. So I'm not saying she did, but her imperfections is what makes her, what makes us all us, our character defects. But one thing my mom would do is she would always tell me to chill, settle down when I would be upset. I didn't listen all the time, but sometimes I did, or I'd think about it and I'd be like, yeah, I'm being ridiculous. That's why I'm saying, I look at it like this. Eckhart Tolle said this about the meatbag theory and all that, but I feel like that too. My mom's energy is not gone. I'm living through her. A lot of my family have reacted to this differently than me. I'm not saying anything's better or worse. I didn't miss a day of work. I actually elevated how I was being at work. I was doing everything. I didn't slow down and having fun with the kids and wife. I'm doing everything that I believe my mom would want me to do. And that's just the way I'm doing it. And I'm not saying anyone's not doing, everyone's way is different. Everyone mourns different. And I've never had to mourn such a serious loss. And I just looked at it the whole time, I'm doing what she would want me to do. Now, here's a crazy story. The night that she had her level 5 aneurysm, I'm at Subway, right? I'm sitting there, and I'm ordering our Subway sandwiches. All of a sudden, I hear Seth behind me. I turn around, I move on, I start ordering the Subway again. Seth, it was loud, and I thought it was, I'm not going to get into background, but one of our family members, maybe who's living the way they live, and all of a sudden they were behind me. That's seriously what went through my head. And then I look, nothing. And then the Subway person was like, hey man, are you okay? And then I said, yeah, I thought I heard my name twice. It's just crazy. And then that night is when it happened. Now, I don't know. To me, and then actually shortly after she passed too, I was sitting there and I was like, I need a sign. And then the TV said, here's your sign. And I know my mom would love seeing this baby do that. And that's the thing too, right when all this happened, you know, they said most likely she wouldn't have her memory, she wouldn't know who anyone was, because it was level 5. And our baby was just due within a couple weeks it was. And she ended up getting to meet Holden. She called him the bald expressive baby. The bald expressive baby. As you see, he's very expressive. And the reason I want to keep doing this video this way, and even though he's being crazy, is because I know my mom would love it. She wouldn't want me to like redo the video, or, you know, this is just supposed to be from the heart. And one thing I've noticed since this happened, I have 0 time for bullshit. That's why, like, too, like when I said the family stuff and all that, like, that's why I just don't care. It's just, you're X'd out. You know, I don't even care. Yeah, you played the game of, you know, being good to my mom because your fucking parents told you to be good. You know what I'm saying? To be good to her. If it takes that, I don't respect that. Even, my uncle even took a dig at all of us during the speech. Like, whatever, dude. My brother did good at his speech. I was supposed to speak, but I don't know why they didn't want me to. Who knows? I actually do speaking engagements for treatment centers and stuff in recovery, and sort of my thing. But I didn't care. That's why I sat here like, well, I got to be in the moment. Acceptance is the answer to my problem. So I just accept I wasn't supposed to speak. Whatever. And then that's why I wanted to do this video, because this means more to me. I hope when people see this, her name is Alana Kunzer. Say the name over and over again. Like that saying, last time, you know, second death is when the last time someone mentions your name, chasing the baby up the stairs. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to hit on or talk about. Well, and that's why I'm just saying it's super sad that people have to get the way they do, get like the way they do, because such gross things were being said is what I'm saying, like from that side of the family. Like talking about, oh, y'all be ready for a war. They were saying shit to my sister. Y'all be ready for a war for that house, stuff like that, you know? Me and my siblings had not talked once about the house or what was going on financially. Like, it's just crazy. Like, that's the type of people they were, and I want to get this out. That's why I'm doing this video too. It's more just tribute to my mom, but it's unfortunate too. Of course, my mom would have no idea that's how people were being. And the reason I bring this stuff up, it's not just to harp on it, but I've had so many people that I've known too that when someone has passed, their family has all these weird family issues and drama, and just, that's why when my mom passed, I have 0 tolerance for it. Like, they were all trying to stir a pot that wasn't needed or wasn't going to be stirred. And my sister told them, dude, none of us have even talked about it. None of us give a shit what happens with anything material, other than getting some family heirlooms, which I got mine. That's all I cared about. But I'm getting a little too off topic. Sorry, but that's why I wanted to just do this video. Whatever the hell flows out is what flows out. My mom was an amazing person. She loved thrift shopping. She loved garage sailing. She loved her doggies, whatever dog she had at the moment, you know. She loved dogs. Let's just say that. She loved her animals. She loved her Judge Judy. She loved drinking coffee. She loved being up at 3 a.m. I have the same thing that she has, where I only get about 5 hours of sleep every night. So I have that same genetic brain, and so does my 8-year-old daughter. My mom was a beautiful person. Took away too soon. Didn't hit 70, 69. But acceptance is the answer, and that's how it was supposed to happen. They did do a second surgery too, which I didn't want them to do, but I got to accept that. And that's when everything really, really went downhill, because she made a recovery like insane. She was even walking a little. And they said, the doctors too were like, this is insane. And you know the saying, everyone says, oh, they're a fighter. Yeah, my mom's a fighter. So, yeah. I'm sure at the end of this, I'll think of something that I wish I would have said, but all I'm going to say is I salute my mom. She is the reason that I'm coming up on 10 years sobriety. She is the reason that I'm the father that I am. The last time I seen her, that's what I said to her. I actually ran back to her room when I was about to exit the building and told her all those things. My 18-year-old stayed. That's another crazy story. So he was there 5 hours when everyone told us it was the last day. I went there for a little bit, talked to her, did that, and then I told him I don't think my mom would want you to see her pass. He's like, no, I'm going to stay or whatever. I said, okay. He went to get his cell phone charger, and the 5 minutes that it took him to go get his cell phone charger out of his truck quick, she passed. I feel like that was, is it odd or God? No, that sounds like on purpose. My mom wouldn't want him to watch that. So it's almost like she meant to do that. But like I said, that's it for this one. I'm sure I'll have more stuff that I could have thought of, but my mom was such an amazing person. And like, as I sat here trying to tell her story or just tell anything about her, she's so amazing that that's all I can really say. She was the rock for so many people, so many people. And that's it. She just was the rock. So that's it for this one. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine with me. I just hope someone got something from this, or if you're going through losing, a relative, family member, parent, whatever the case may be, I hope you can see this and it can help you. My biggest advice would be acceptance is the answer. Accept life on life's terms, And obviously you don't want to be selfish. You don't want to watch someone suffer. But that's it for this one. Everyone have a blessed one. Stay positive and don't give up if you're going through that. Like I said, have a good one. Stay blessed.